Hello everybody once again. I am back with another quick analysis of some new cards that we've been shown by content creators once again. I will of course link to them down below if you haven't caught their reveals. But I wanted to go over 5 cards this time that have been shown, not 6. There might be another one coming out today, but I wanted to make this video and it hasn't come out yet, when I'm recording this. So if it does, I will cover that later, of course. But for now, we've only got 5. So let's just jump into the cards that we do have that have been revealed, not counting the ones I've already done videos on. So, first of those is Bruxa. This is a monster bronze 4 provision card. It is 2 strength with the deploy, damage an enemy unit by 2, and a death blow which gives the unit thrive. So if you kill a unit with the 2 damage, you get thrive. Similar to how Drowner and obviously the other thrive units have. So the way I like to look at this is like a Drowner, 1 provision less, you don't have the movement, and the thrive is conditional on you killing something, so this is in line with the other sort of 4 provision 2-point damage by 2 bronzes that other factions have got. Centurion Knight, the Svalblood Ravager are examples of that, and it seems like they're raising the value of these low provision bronzes that factions are going to have to be running, which I think is a good thing. There's going to be more options now for you to, play with in terms of monsters, Gallagher, Northern Realms, and maybe the other factions as well. We also have the Plumard, right, at 4 provisions, so, depending on what style of deck you're going for, you might want that Thrive, you might want the Bleeding, you might want to play around with other options, the cards that we already have, like Arcspore, right, and Neckers and Necker Warrior and all that. So, not a particularly exciting card, to be honest. The card art is pretty cool though, in my opinion. But I think this card's probably good enough to see play at some point. If you're going for that Thrive and you want to throw in a ton of Thrive into your deck, just to make sure that the opponent's overwhelmed by all those vampires and Neckers and whatnot, and you can then, gain the engine value on those. So, not the craziest effect, another one of these Death Blow cards, but it does have more than one keyword, and that's pretty cool. Likewise with some of the other guys. They're definitely implementing the death blow effect more freely, which is quite nice to see. So up next we have Dryad Matron, and this is a Scoia'tael bronze, 5 provisions, 3 points. It's an engine, it works like engines in other factions, but instead of just being a simple boost or damage, it actually on the turn end moves to the rightmost spot on the row and boosts an ally unit on the left by 1. So this has obviously got a bit of movement synergy. It does actually work, or will work, with the Sentry that Scoia'tael already has for movement synergy, which is pretty, interesting to note. That might be a nice combo. You can get a couple of points every turn from that if you play this guy with the Sentry together. They can generate some nice value. Otherwise, it's just going to be effectively a 4 for 5 if you play it onto a board with a unit there already. Right, you'll get a point as soon as it deploys because it's at the end of your turn. So 4-point engine for 5 is quite vulnerable to removal at 3 strength, but it is an option for Scoia'tael as an engine. It is a Dryad as well, which is interesting to note because the Harmony Dryads that we've been shown so far have all been, the Harmony cards we've been shown have been Dryads so far. And that means you probably don't want to run extra Dryads if you're running Harmony because they won't proc the Harmony effect. You need a different category of unit to proc the Harmony. So that kind of makes the Dryad tag a bit weaker outside of the Harmony cards. You actually won't want Dryads if you're playing the Dryad Harmonies, if that makes sense. But that being said, 4 for 5 with 1 point per turn is not a bad engine. That's like reinforced trebuchet value kind of, but a little bit less conditional than your opponent having a board. So seems pretty good. If Scoia'tael is going to pack decks with more than a couple of engines, then this can definitely see play. And of course that movement synergy as well. If there's more, cards introduced that incentivize you to move things around, maybe some movement engines kind of stuff, then this could definitely be a powerful card and see a lot of play. So pretty nicely designed one, helping an archetype that's already in the game, and just giving Scoia'tael a bit of engine power, which is currently something it lacks a little bit right now. Okay, next up we have Corrupted Flaminio. Can you see the description there? Hopefully you can. So This one is a 4 strength Skellige gold, 6 provisions, and when you deploy it destroys an allied beast to the right and then boosts itself by its power, the beast's power, and gives an enemy unit bleeding equal to a number of turns, for a number of turns equal to the destroyed beast's strength. So basically, you destroy a beast, if it's say 5 strength beast, a bear or whatever, you get a boost by 5, and then you get a bleeding for 5 on an enemy unit. And this is 6 provisions, so on first glance that seems pretty damn powerful, you know. If you get maybe 3 value from the bleed, from the bear, you maybe throw a 3, 4, 5 point bear at an enemy, or beast or whatever. Roach, for example, is a beast, you could throw him at 3 strength. If you do that and the bleeding goes off, you're effectively doing a really nice, provision point trade. So, on first glance it seems very, very powerful. For a 6 provision card, you can easily get 6 value and more, as long as you're playing beasts. And there are a few beasts that work with this that you could just throw in a deck, right? Roach is one of those. I'm sure you can figure out ways to include other ones, like maybe Novellen or whatever, or Olaf, you can throw into a Skellige deck. One thing of note, it will play into tool removal if you end up eating your bear. It effectively is kind of a consume effect, right? So you're going to play a little bit into Geralt's or whatever. Skellige usually doesn't do that so much unless they're running Jutta and things like that, so that might be a bit of a downside for the card. And apart from that, you've got to have quite a long round, especially if you're killing a high strength beast, to actually get all of the bleeding value from that. So I don't see this being overpowered. It definitely looks quite strong, but of course there are ways to play around bleeding. It won't get all of its value immediately. It will basically be played as a 4-point card, and you can disrupt the bleeding with passing, with purification. So I don't think I see this being, overpowered, but I do think it could be quite strong if you're already running beasts. And it's a pretty cool card design. It's kind of like Cyclops and Harpy and those cards that consume their allies, but with an added spin on it and with a new keyword there, with the bleeding, which is pretty cool. So that's that. We also have a couple of cards from Twitter. They haven't been flipped over on the site yet, so I'll be using the Twitter accounts of the people who revealed these cards. So first up we have Ace of Plays, and he revealed this Spring Equinox, I believe is the card name. This is just a neutral, and it is a special card for 4 provisions, which purifies all units on a row. Pretty vanilla effect, pretty, crow's eye-esque, I guess you could say. Doesn't seem too powerful from the, from the look of it. That being said, as far as I know, Purify can remove Doomed on units, so you can effectively maybe play Germain, purify all the cows of their Doomed status, and then play like a Beast Skellige maybe, or something like that. And yeah, get value from Beastmasters, or you can maybe purify some units that are powerful but doomed and resurrect them or whatever. I don't know how good this will be, probably quite bad. You probably will only run this in Skellige, right? I can only see Beastmaster synergy there with the Doom tag being quite good, and you can always maybe discard your, dead 4 provision special with things like Bran, Coral, Burner if you really need to. So I wouldn't say this looks very good, but you might see it come up in some kind of combo Beastmaster deck or niche Skellige sort of thing. If bleeding becomes a very common thing, which I don't think it will, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. And the last one for today is a cool, I think, monster card revealed by King Ches, and this one is the Galle, another vampire, and it is 7 provisions gold for monsters, 3 strength with deploy, damage an enemy unit by 1, and a death blow of boost self by the destroyed enemy's base power. So this is pretty interesting. This is basically a 4 for 7, and then on top of that, you get the strength of the ally you killed. So thematically, very cool. This guy's coming in, he's like getting the final blow, and then eating the remains of whatever has died, I guess, is the thematic perspective. Anyway, seems quite good, although I think monsters will need some more tools to set up that 1 strength unit. Right now, monsters kind of lacking in big damage effects for hitting a tool unit down, and that's really what you want to do with this. You want to be hitting like a 4, 5, 6 or more than that strength unit to really get the boost value there. Otherwise, it's going to maybe be only, something like 6 points or whatever if you kill like a 2 strength unit, 3 strength unit, whatever. I think this card has potential, definitely, and if there are new cards added, that are damaging, which are powerful. You know, you already have things like Crone and the Crone combo, which is quite good for 4-6 damage potentially to knock stuff down. If you get more cards that are like that, which are, you know, close to auto-included monsters, or at least very strong, then you might see this one being played. In theory, can be insanely powerful. In reality, I can see it getting about 7-8 strength a lot of the time, but getting more than that is going to be probably quite conditional, and will require maybe a new card or two to help that out. But we'll see. That might not even be the case. It might be very powerful and I'm underrating it heavily. But either way, cool effect, cool card. Let me know your thoughts about the cards we've shown today. I will, of course, be checking regularly for more leaks on my stream if you want to come and hang out with us there. If not, I'll be doing more videos of card reveals, gameplay. You guys know at this point what we're here for, so do subscribe if you'd like more videos. That being said, I'll see you guys next time.